Hello there, you're watching QTV this morning, and I am your host, Jennifer Sonko, here with my co-host, Ibrahim Balde. It's Thursday.
Yeah.
We have a chance to enjoy our weekend
exactly.
a little bit.
I mean, it's Thursday, and very soon we'll get into the weekend. And you know what weekends are. I mean, it's a time to relax, reflect.
You look tired.
Yeah, I look very tired, and I am tired. I'm a bit sleepy.
Yeah. To be honest, I did not want to get off my bed this morning. Truly, I did not want to do it.
Especially these days, the weather.
The famity.
Man.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us. Today, as usual, we have the African proverb, we have the newspaper review. Our guest is here, Momo Dumboch, to help us analyze some of the stories that we have on the papers. Thank you so much for joining us. And on Community Watch, we'll be taking a look at the rise in COVID-19 cases. And we have also seen that there's a flu ongoing. Malaria flu-like, you know, something going on in the country.
It's common.
Yes.
I mean, we've been seeing many people complaining of common cold, fresh cold.
Yeah.
I mean, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's just good to go and take your jab. I think the jab is really helping. Go get your vaccine. And on social issues, we'll be talking about issues with real estate business in the Gambia. We'll be joined by Bibi Dabo, not the former vice president.
Yes, but Bibi Dabo, a TV presenter.
Okay, will be joining us here to talk about issues with real estate business in the Gambia. So that is all we have. What is our African proverb?
The African proverbs read, if a blind man says he will throw a stone at you, he probably has his foot on one.
Okay, if a blind man says he will throw a stone at you, he probably has his foot on one.
Wow, this is a very straightforward proverb.
Okay,
I mean,
Hanayo, what does it tell you?
Wow, this proverb will tell me, well, if a person wants to do something, and he believes I want to do this, then he have a very strong stand that I can achieve this thing. You know, there is he is confident to do a particular thing and become successful. Because when you look at the direction of the proverb, if a blind man says he will throw a stone at you, he probably has his foot on one. Okay. So it's like it's already it's already done. I mean, he is ready
to do it.
Exactly.
Okay, Mr. Mboch, what's your take on this one?
First, I'll listen to yours.
Yes. So basically, I have the same analysis as his, that if a blind man says he will throw a stone at you, he probably has it on his feet, because it's already there. You know, the person means what he probably wants to do. But, you know, sometimes this is not the case.
No,
right?
Well, I'm not so sure about that. I'm not sure if that is the spirit in which we should take this sort of proverb. For me, I'm reading all sorts of things into it. I mean, can you imagine if Balde were to invite me, challenge me to something? I'd be wondering, what has he got?
Exactly.
What is his secret weapon? There's probably a secret weapon somewhere, so I better be careful. So to me, I'll just be very careful about any situation, really. You just never know what the other person has.
Yes, so, but it's a bit similar, Mr. Mboch, taking a look at it. It's almost the same. Yeah. You know, when a person gives you a warning, probably, you don't know what is next. You don't know what comes next and all of that. I think it's quite similar to our analysis.
Exactly. That's why I said it's a very straightforward proverb. I mean, the way you analyze it, at the end of the time, we are all coming to the same point, the same conclusion. So it's a good one, Jenna.
Yeah, looks like a lazy Thursday today.
Yeah.
Seems like a lazy Thursday. We will now go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we will head right on to the newspaper review. Our guest is here, Momo Dumboch, to help us analyze what is happening right at the on the Point newspaper. We'll be right back.
Begin your SUV life. S-Pass Motors, the new authorized dealer for Kia, Visit us today or call us on 3522-222, 353-2222.
No, it's all right. It's Malik who called me, and yeah.
Welcome.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and Ria just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from Ria directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free, or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower, and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe, and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Light. From the beginning of time, light has been there.
It is integral to our survival and to our way of living.
We need light to work,
To build,
to grow things, and even to see our loved ones.
light makes things easier and better.
So QCell has changed the way you buy QPower to make it easier and more accessible.
You can now access the same service quickly and get your cash power tokens instantly with the new QCell QPower code.
To light up your world, simply dial *363#.
With a touch of your fingers,
With ease and convenience from the comfort of your home or office,
you can bring light into your world instantly with *363#.
QPower, lighting your world.
QCell Sunyabus.
We innovate, others follow.
Want it? Order for it and pay quickly using QuickPay on the QMoney platform. With great technology comes ease and convenience. Get a glimpse of what a comfortable life is with QMoney by dialing *323# now. Call 133 for more information. QMoney, Sunyu Kalpe.
I am the light goddess. Everything I touch turns into light. I am the light at the end of the tunnel, and my technology is the answer. I am the happiness in your life. I keep you connected, and I am QPower. I am QCell. I am Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Call 111 for more information.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
welcome back from that break, and we apologize for that. We will now head on to the newspaper review. What is on the point?
Yes, the point newspaper.
dañ war a exercise
noko waxee tey moom
dafa xaw a lazy xanaa dañoo jóg fudu taxaw
man foog naa weather bi la let's do this follow me
waaw
let's do this 1 yes 2 well 3 then we can do this now.
Okay.
Let's do this, baby girl.
Lazy Thursday.
How tayal? How walu hew? Sa yaram bi suko munut rek suma boss du ko de mun.
Sa boss du ko mun. Na xam dañ uyuma dañ am that bond.
Wow.
Bond.
Okay, the Point newspaper headline reads, Scorpions due in Banjul today from Qatar training camp. And of course, plot owners at Farato, Bojankunda threatens legal action if what? Bibi Dabo will also be here, and Hamna Nenko engage Selini.
Okay.
COVID-19, 206 new cases reported. Barrow to attend NPP victory celebration in URR. Recall Assembly enacts over 18 bills in 2021. Yes.
Looking at this, I think the most prominent is Scorpions due in Banjul today from Qatar training camp. Mr. Mboj, maybe you are not a football person, are you?
Oh, you want to bet?
Okay, can I bet?
No, I love football.
Okay. What are you looking forward to?
Oh, big time. Was it yesterday or so? I said to somebody, look, can you get me my team shirt?
Yeah.
So we're getting in the spirit of the AFCON.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, yes, of course, they had gone to Qatar to prepare, as teams tend to, just before they go to a tournament. But unfortunately, apparently, this is quite interesting. When I was reading the story in the paper, they said that I think they were supposed to have another match with Syria. But apparently, 16 players were not available.
Yeah.
But this report said because of what circumstances, what unforeseen circumstances. I'm like, what you should tell us now what is going on. I've heard a couple of sports reporters discussing this and saying, oh, perhaps they're not telling us the whole story. Is it that some of them they've got COVID? So what is going on? So you've heard all sorts of rumors. So it is not helpful to use terms like because of unforeseen circumstances. But now I think we've seen them. So tell us.
Yeah.
Exactly. As you know, we are preparing for the AFCON, and this is our first time of going. And the noise is too much. I mean, some countries doesn't have confidence that Gambia will be able to make it. I can remember, I don't know if it's Mali or Mauritania.
Yeah, the head coach of Mali
was,
said that he saw individual players who are quite good, but as a team, we're not good enough.
I don't think, I mean, maybe if he is trying to judge us by our size and our people. I mean, I watched Steve's story yesterday on QTV. It was impressive.
But Steve rek munu ko def.
Yes, munu ko def. Why did not contribute? Steve is a very important player. Mom daf de school. Te gis nañ lum def dimba man musuma xamne those are the things that he's doing in the Arabian countries. Mr. Mboj, what do you think of this?
The Malian coach, well, now they're playing mind games.
Yes.
It depends on how we handle it.
So football is not only in the field, but mind game tang.
Let me tell you something. Not just football, any sport. Some might even say in life, half of success really depends on psychologically how strong you are. If you do not conquer yourself, you are unlikely to conquer anything out there. Let's be honest with ourselves. So these are just mind games. We don't mind. We don't care. One would just like to think that the team, the young, this is their first time there. Yeah. They would be hungry and full of energy and really ready to go. And this sort of talk, it doesn't matter. It's quite condescending. Fine, it's condescending. That's all right. But that may turn around to actually fuel me in a way that you wouldn't have expected.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what you think I am. You think I'm a pygmy. All right, we'll see. We'll get onto the pitch, and then I will show you. So you just never know. Never mind about that. It just depends on what we do in the end that will determine a lot of things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So moving on, COVID-19 cases are on the rise as 206 new reported cases. I think people just have to go get their jabs.
Absolutely, and still, you know, the guidelines that were given, we should still follow them. So you have all these mutations. We've been saying this for a very, very long time with viruses. If you did not nip them on the bud, that was why we wanted, you know, a certain percentage of the population to get the jab, to receive the jab. Because if you do not nip it at the bud, if you do not stop it at some point, it will keep on mutating. And now we understand that apart from the Omicron, there's another mutation. So this is really, absolutely, this is actually what the reality is. Maybe, now this is the thing, are the mutations, is the virus weakening, as it were?
Or is it more transmissible?
Well, the transmissibility that much, for instance, with this one, we know that. It is far more transmissible, for instance, than Delta. But again, not as severe as Delta. This is what is meant by the weakening, you know, mutations, if you like. It's really in the severity, not necessarily in the transmissibility, even though we are told by scientists that they're still finding out more about it.
Well, sometimes last week, the Ministry of Health said they will be vaccinating people individually. They'll be going round to do this. How did it go, Jenna?
I'm not, well, that is why Jibril Gando Balde, Senior Health Communications Officer from the Ministry of Health, will be here to tell us how that actually went. He will join us shortly and get to answer that particular question.
Well, I think the vaccine hesitancy is still on, and people are still not very convinced to take the vaccine. But we've taken the vaccine, and nothing happened to us. And well, I think we are good to go, Mr. Mbo. You've also taken yours.
Of course. I mean, people who deny these things, the vaccine hesitancy, you see, reason didn't lead them there. Reason is never going to get them out. The very fact that you've just said, the very fact that all of us have taken it, but look at us, we haven't seen any adverse effects yet. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? You think that, I'm not sure whether that will make any difference in their positions. You know what I mean? So they've sort of like written their position in stone, as it were. So they're not going to change. We just hope that we'll get at least 70% of our population who are sensible enough to go and get jabbed, even though right now the percentage of people who receive the jab, it's really quite small.
So moving on, the National Assembly enacts over 18 bills in 2021. This is just a flashback on activities of the National Assembly in 2021, enacting 18 bills in 2021.
Yes, but what does that mean?
Yes, that's the big question. What does this mean to you as a Gambian?
You know, okay, fine, they're doing their job. Well done. For instance, with me, I'm like, oh, how come we didn't have the anti-corruption bill in there as one
Part
of
the
them?
18.
You know, but we haven't got that one yet. So yeah, they're doing their jobs. Essentially, that's what they're telling us. They've enacted all sorts of bills now. They've become laws. They're acts now. But there's still a lot of work to be done. Congratulations.
Yes, and we've also, when it comes to the story on plot owners at Farata Bojankunda threaten legal action, obviously we'll have Bibi Dabo here, who will further talk about issues with real estate businesses in the Gambia. But anyway, we've seen exciting news that President Barrow to attend NPP victory celebration in URR. Hopefully we'll be seeing a lot of this before January 19, the inauguration.
Yes, well, as a party, yes, they've won, and obviously the president going back, you know, perhaps to say thank you, as it were. So you would expect that of political parties. But for us as journalists, I think, well, for me as a journalist, let's put it that way, what I'm looking forward to is the inauguration, the swearing in ceremony in the 19th, and the cabinet. Then we'd love to see
who's in, who's out.
NPP cabinet and stuff like that. Not so much who is in, who is out. I'm not in many ways interested in individuals like that. But maybe that would give us an indication of how the president is thinking. who is included and who is excluded. That will give you an indication
of what he's working on.
The arc of his thinking, the direction of the thinking. For me, that is important. We have a lot of work to do in this country.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Momodu Mboj, for joining us on the newspaper review. It's always good to have you here.
I'm always glad to be here.
Yeah, so we'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll head right on to Community Watch, and we'll be joined by Jibril Gando Balde, Senior Health Communications Officer at the Ministry of Health, and we'll be talking about the rise in COVID-19 cases. We'll be right back.
Light. From the beginning of time, light has been there.
It is integral to our survival and to our way of living.
We need light to work,
to build,
to grow things, and even to see our loved ones.
Light makes things easier and better.
So QCell has changed the way you buy Q-Power to make it easier and more accessible.
You can now access the same service quickly and get your cash power tokens instantly with the new QCell Q-Power code.
To light up your world, simply dial *363#.
With the touch of your fingers,
with ease and convenience from the comfort of your home or office,
you can bring light into your world instantly with *363#.
Q-Power, lighting your world.
QCell Sunyabus.
We innovate, others follow.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and Ria just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from Ria directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free, or use the money immediately to buy credit, Q-Power, and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe, and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
Light. From the beginning of time, light has been there.
It is integral to our survival and to our way of living.
We need light to work,
to build,
to grow things, and even to see our loved ones.
Light makes things easier and better.
So QCell has changed the way you buy Q-Power to make it easier and more accessible.
You can now access the same service quickly and get your cash power tokens instantly with the new QCell Q-Power code.
To light up your world, simply dial *363#.
With the touch of your fingers,
with ease and convenience from the comfort of your home or office,
you can bring light into your world instantly with *363#.
Q-Power, lighting your world.
QCell Sunyabus.
We innovate, others follow.
Want it? Order for it and pay quickly using QuickPay on the QMoney platform. With great technology comes ease and convenience. Get a glimpse of what a comfortable life is with QMoney by dialing *323# now. Call 133 for more information. QMoney, Sunyu Kalpe.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster.
Begin your SUV life. S-Pass Motors, the new authorized dealer for Kia. Visit us today or call us on 3522-222, 353-2222.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
No?
Yes.
From that break, if you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and I am Jenna Bosonko with my co-host Ibrahim Balde.
Yes.
So we apologize. We first of all introduced that we'll be taking a look at Community Watch with Jibril Gando Balde on the rise of COVID-19 cases, but now we'll be taking a look at our social issues, and we're joined by Bibi Dabo, a real estate consultant, not the former vice president. And we'll be talking about issues with real estate businesses in the Gambia, and looking at the newspaper today on the point. There's already one.
The front page,
You know,
it
there's
reads,
already
plot
one.
owners at Farato Bojankunda threatens legal action if. I mean,
So, you know, it's happening on a daily basis.
And you know, Jennifer, land is becoming a very big problem.
Yeah.
The past years in the Gambia, we have seen a whole lot of issues, people going up and down court cases when it comes to land. And Bibi is here to help us.
Yes, as a real estate consultant. So where is this problem originating from, first of all?
Well, thank you very much for inviting me this morning on QTV. Like you said, land has become a problem in this country, and due to the fact that it's the most expensive commodity, and being expensive would not deter people from getting it because it's a necessity. And so that's give a rise to a land problem, and land is the only, let's say, natural resources that the Gambia can be proud of, I can tell you. Because if you look at the price tag on lands right now, it's more expensive than even diamonds in other countries. So this is the reason. This also is one of the factors that give land escalation problems in our community. But also, everyone needs it. So the government also have a very important role to play, which I believe they are not doing it. Because if you look at the Land Act, it says that all lands belong to the state. But in reality, you can see that the communities own the land. These are the dwellers of the vicinity, so they own the land. So if the community and the government are not coming together to work harmoniously, of course, we cannot prevent land chaos.
Well, Bibi, you're talking about land issues. It's very important. Because this is very important, and people would like to know Bibi. People would like to, some people would mind. But in
okay. I agree.
Because they are looking, wow, this guy is talking about land. So I want you to face the whole general public and talk to them.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes, so you already talked about the fact that everyone needs it and all of that, but with the real estate agents themselves, the real estate companies, why is it that most of the time all of these fraudulent practices are happening? What is the problem? And nothing has been done. If something has been done, what has been done? And what can government do extra to make sure that this narrative change?
Well, I will tell you, before the advent of the industrialization of land sales in this country, we call it real estate agencies, there has been land problems. So in the early 2000s, when we have only a few, let's say the Africa Global, the Global Properties, maybe the Universal, we see it has been a land chaos or land problem has reduced drastically. But when everyone realized that, okay, this is a go-in area to enrich themselves, many people just go in there just because they want to get the money. They do not know the 1, 2, 3 or the ABC of investing into such magnitude a real estate investment, because it's very expensive. But in the Gambia, every Samba and party can just go in because there is no regulation. The government need to regulate the real estate. We've been crying over this for many years, but there's no regulation. If you look after the mid of 2000 to 2000, let's say 2010, 2013, 14, 15, 16, you see influx of real estate industry, real estate agencies rather. So it was on control. It is still on control. So everyone is coming in and talking to the alcalos, talking to the landowners and the community. So they're grabbing lands and holding it, cutting it into pieces, 20 by 20, 20 by 25, and putting price tags on it, selling it. So what gives the problem to the real estate now is because of we don't even know, we cannot even quantify the number of real estates operating in this country. If you ask the physical plan, they don't know. The Ministry of Lands, they don't know. The Justice, they don't know. I've cried to this. Last week, in fact, I was talking with the Minister himself and the Permanent Secretary. I went to the office, though I was invited. We had a talk on such cases. But I will tell you, it's a ticking bomb. If the government need to address any issue in this country that will result to murder, it has to be land. We have seen cases, we have seen murder cases in Farato, even this incident that you're talking about. In Farato, we've seen murder cases. In Gunjur, we've seen murder cases, elsewhere in Lemon. So it's on the rise. It's high time. What I suggest, maybe if you ask me that question, I'm not sure maybe you will ask me that question, but if you ask me, I even made a suggestion to the government, but I'll come to that maybe. I just want to be disciplined on the questions that you ask.
But I already asked that in that particular question. What can be done if it's not done?
Okay, the suggestion is what I did I did suggestion to the Minister of Lands and also the Permanent Secretary and even the Director of Lands, together with the Director of Physical Planning. I told them that why can't they revoke all license from the real estate?
Including the old ones?
Yes, let them revoke everything.
The ones that have been here since?
Including from the mega to the minor. Let them revoke all their license, their operational license, and ask them to apply again, reapply. On the process of the application, the government will put a stagnant amount, for instance, 5 million, 10 million as a collateral. If you cannot afford this 10 million, 10, 15 million, 20 million dollars, maybe it couldn't be cash, but you could have a commodity, an asset, to equate that amount, $20 million as a collateral, because just to safeguard the citizens and the buyers. So if that is there, if Mr. A mess in his company, the government will just go straight, withdraw the money and pay the people, so that they have another opportunity to buy from other, tangible ones. But because we need it. No matter the fraud, no matter the degree of the fraud, people will still invest in land because it's a necessity. So the government need to come in.
Bibi, let's talk about the main issues that you face when it comes to land issues. What complaints do you receive? And I have been seeing you going up and down, busy, trying to resolve land issues. So what are some of the issues that you face?
Well, I bought a land, I do not have my document. One, I bought a land, I cannot access my plot. I bought a land, I don't even see my plot. These are the three main complaints. And the first, I bought a land, I do not access my document. This is as a result of the contracts between the real estate agencies and the landowners. Most of the operators do not have money. They do not have cash. So in real estate, you have to get the ability of liquidations and assets. You have to get this mathematics. But if you don't have the cash in your hands, you should be able to do something. For instance, real estate A went to landowner B. I'm interested in this chunk of land, 50 or 500 by 500. All they do is sort of a contract payment terms. You know, within 2-3 years you can able to pay. I charge you for $5 million. And you already made a deposit of $1 million. But this real estate, some of them are being very, very dishonest. They will take this chunk of land, demarcate it, not even clear it in most cases, and sell it to the buyers because we need it. Because the consumers need it. They will buy it by installment. Some will pay cash. In fact, you will get all this money, and you will not go back to the landowner to give them back their money. So as a result, the landowner will get frustrated and want to revoke the contract. Because it elapsed. The time has elapsed. 3 years has elapsed. You don't pay. So when they get this land from you, they would like to sell it to a serious buyer. So if this serious buyer come and get the whole chunk of land, whilst you already sold it to more than 400 people, 350 people, you name it.
Oh, it becomes a
so it becomes a problem. You cannot allocate them. So you want to say, okay, let me reallocate you. And if you're not careful, the same old process will happen.
Will repeat.
So this is a result. And so if you do not have, if you do not pay the landowner, of course the landowner cannot give you a full transfer. So if you don't have the full transfer, the physical planning cannot give you the documents.
Exactly.
The area council cannot give you the documents in your name because it has not yet been transferred in your name. So you see, this is the problem.
So now, let's say I want to buy a land in Gunjur. Let's say I want to get a big plot, Natala, 40 by 40, wala?
No, you
but more than
900 by 100.
Wow. Let's say I'm getting a land in Gunjur, 100 by 100. You know, as an individual who's trying to get one for the first time, for example, what tips will you give me? What should I look out for?
Yes, I always advise people, go to the office first. For instance, I made, real estate A did an advertisement because they all do adverts, but you're just enticed with one advert. So you said, okay, I'm interested in Gunjur. First, I will advise people, when you visit the office, talk to them and ask for that you are interested in a particular reference and Gunjur.
Okay.
Do a site visit first.
Okay. Go and look at the place.
Go and see the place. If you see the place, the first thing you need to look if they have a signboard on that in that area that suggests they own it primarily. Then, when you satisfy with the place, you said I like it. But before negotiating, ask for a document.
Okay.
Like, can I see the ownership document of that property? They should give it to you if they are serious. They should show it to you or give you a copy to look at it.
It's your right.
It's your right to know.
Okay.
Then, if you are satisfied with the ownership, maybe you can let's say ownership starts from the alkali.
Okay.
But in most cases in the real estate, they will say the contract first. Like I explained earlier. Look at the contract, then also the alkali transfer. Then you look at the physical planning. If it is a vicinity area, a visible area, a viable area rather for a living, because we have different type of land use. We have agricultural land use, we have residential, we have industrial, we have commercial. So look at it. So, but the physical planning will determine this. Physical planning will not determine the ownership. A lot of people made mistake. They do not determine ownership.
Okay.
They only determine if it is a residential area. So if it is a residential area, you're okay. And you get the ownership, that's fine too. Then maybe you want to look at the other documents, let's say the area council, the occupancy certificate and stuff, fine. But with a real estate, I advise you, if you get the alkali transfer, you know that you get the physical planning and also the official transfer. That's what we call the area council. Okay. If you get that, maybe that's a huge step.
At least
At least you can consider, fine, they own this.
Yeah.
then look at the contract. The contracts also deceive people, a lot of people.
Okay.
Because some people will not even go to the lawyers. They will just sit at their homes or their office, they just draft 2, 3, 4, 5 lines and say contract.
Yeah.
And most of this contract is not in favor of the buyer. You will see at some contract they say that if you fail to pay, let's say 1 month or 2 payments, you will forfeit 50% of what you paid.
That's true.
And some people will sign this.
Yeah, that's too extreme.
You know, seriously. So I advise people to, before you buy land, no matter who you are, seek advice, maybe from a consultant or maybe from a legal practitioner. Let them look at the contract before you sign it. So many people, so I receive so many contracts. I look at the contracts, I laugh. 2, 3 lines, they will tell you sometimes, okay, if that land is not available, subjected to transfer. And you sign it because you're not educated.
You don't understand.
Yeah, you don't know that. Yeah.
So if you want to, you know, bring any commotion, they will tell you, real estate, some of the CEOs will tell you, no, you're going to court, take me to court.
Yeah.
Because you've already signed it. I mean, so they know.
Because I know somebody personally who has gone through that. Linga wahni la ko real estate passing do. Monoko yobu ma court. Because they know nek lead of the jail years.
Wow.
Yes.
You know, and I don't know why these court proceedings are slow. Can you tell us about that as well?
Yeah, it's slow because, you know, there is no, let's say, the government do not take any huge step in helping the consumers and even the real estate. There are some real estates that are very, very good. In fact, they are always telling me, Bibi, I think you have to talk to the ministry so that we can able to regulate this because it is disturbing the market. Imagine if, for instance, real estate A is doing wonders, doing good, B is doing good, only C and D, and you know, trying to tarnish the image of the real estate. Today, if you talk to the diasporans about real estate, they will tell you, no, they are all scammers.
Yeah, because they've been through it.
Yes, you know, if you go to the court today, there are plethora of court cases, land matters. You know, I personally, I think I have submitted more than 50 cases. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, through the help of the late Mr. Mamour, the IGP.
IGP.
Yes, because I went there personally. I talked to him about this, and he was, you know, he took this very seriously. In fact, he introduced me to the serious crime director, Mr. So, and also Keita. And he told them that, please, if this man bring any case, please take it, treat it as soon as possible. But it delays at the prosecution level. And before it goes to the prosecution also, at the serious crime, the investigation takes time.
So, yeah.
You know,
they need evidence.
Yeah, they need evidence. They need to know whether it's a civil matter or it's a criminal matter. So it takes time. So I think the government, what they need to do is, the government need to work with the Justice Department, Justice Ministry, Minister of Interior, and the Land Ministry. They need to collaborate and work together. If they collaborate and work together and say any case that comes as a matter of the real estate, let it be a matter of urgency. If 1, 2, 3 we, are caught red-handed and, you know, been prosecuted, it's been televised, believe me, the rest will be very careful.
Exactly.
Sometimes you need to set example. You know, but if you talk to the Minister of Lands and the Permanent Secretary, they will tell you some of these things need to be in law before we can able to enforce it. But you know, sometimes you need to take the bull by the horn, or else you know, the Gambia will be a sad nation.
Well, I know one thing. Investigations are very slow. I keep on saying this. I think authorities need to do something to fasten some of these things, because there are a lot of things that have been under investigation for many years and still now. So I have seen instances whereby the like GT board, I mean, followed real estate agents for them to remove their boats from the TDA, that's the tourism development area. I can even remember there was a time we met people doing work on a piece of land, but they were told to stop by GT board, and that was filmed. So, and these people, they purchased this land from the real estates, you know, BB. So it's crazy. I think there is no communication, and that's where you people should come in and sensitize the general public.
You see, if you communication, it has to be in action. It has been already communicated. You see, there's a problem when you talk about the TDA area.
TDA.
You see, because this has been there for years. Let's say from 1965, when they said, okay, from the coast of from Bakau to all the way to Kato, you need to leave at least 800. Let's say 800, not even at least 800 meters from the high water mark. Okay, but if you look at from the high water mark, if you look at the nature of our land and the sea is always coming. So where the 800 meter will stop. For instance, if I left 20 years ago, I demarcated my plot. This is more than 1 kilometer from the high water mark. And today, 20 years on, of course, it will be less than 1 kilometer. Because the sea is coming. We are seeing that. So if this is the case, who is at fault? Well, the law, the government, or the landowner?
Well, if that is the case, I think that's
serious.
Yes, that's a natural one because the sea is coming.
Yes,
and it is 800 meters from the seashore.
It was said. It is said
according to them because this declaration has been written for a very long time. I mean, I think it's in the 60s. I mean, so I think this is where GT board and real estate agents will sit and do a roundtable discussion. I don't know if they have done such a thing.
You know, the problem is, I can remember, I think since 1986, thereabout, the Gambia did not make any professional surveyor training. Like I say, the government is sitting on something that they don't even know. They are sitting on a timing bomb.
That's the real estate. The lands in the Gambia.
The land properties in this country.
It's
a problem. Land issue.
Well,
it's a ticking bomb.
I pray we sort it out before it bomb. Jay, do not.
I hope so. But unfortunately, Jay did not give me any cup of, I don't know, I don't have my cup of
coffee.
Yeah.
You see, you know, to be honest, land is a serious matter in this country. I do not pray for this, what we call the land boom, the economic boom clash. If that happens, that's an eclipse. You see, you can see it is widening the gap even between the rich and the poor.
Yeah.
The rich people are grabbing and holding lands for few years and put their own price. And this will force investors to buy. These investors are the richer one. Now, let's say we have three categories, the poor, the rich, and the richer. So it's like the rich and the richer are doing the business and forcing the poor people to rent.
Well, Bibi, I think here, the solution to this is, I mean, because if you have a lot of money, you can grab a whole lot of land. I think the number of land dedicated to an individual should be
limited.
Very
well. Yes. That's one
but
aspect.
I mean, how are we going to control it? That is the problem.
You see, let the government get up and work, do the planning. This is a serious matter. If you look at the Gambia today, we do not have any green park where family can go and sit. We do not even have garage. Tell me one garage in the Greater Banjul area. There's no garage here. The physical planning, I mean, they need to work. The municipalities need to work. The whole of Kanifing Serekunda, there's no garage.
All the lands have been grabbed.
Now, they are sitting, we can say, okay, this place has been congested. But now go to the Sanyang area, the Gunjur area. People are now purchasing land, banking it. Still the physical planning is sitting down. They do not go and carve ways. Carve places for market, for hospitals, for cemeteries. They are still sitting down. They do not pave highways. You know, we need to have a future plan for this country.
Exactly.
Or else everywhere will be like Dipakunda and London. And this will result to diseases, unhygienic, vicinities. It result rebellious because kids will be growing in a cluttered area.
Yes.
So these people need to foresee this, and the government need to get up and work. They should get up from their comfort zone. I've been crying. Let them come out. Okay, Serekunda is congested. Serekunda is not even congested, but it's a poor planning. Look at between 2, 3, 4 story buildings, you will see a vacant land. you know, there. What for? Let the municipality come and say who owns this. If you cannot develop it within this certain time, we will have to lease it out. Lease is a legitimate business. Let them lease it out to people like people who can invest and make it rent affordable. Let them go to, let's say, the Banyakas. You know, carve a place for bantabas, for green parks. Understand? For I mean, how do you call it? Recreational centers.
Yeah, yes. Recreational centers.
We do not have them. That. Look at the buffer zone. Before 1960, that place was carved. What is happening there? Still, Kenya Lebije.
It's dead. This is
Kenya.
Kenyo.
Moi Souf.
Souf. Salim. What on Lebije? It's not developed. You want to walk, let's say you want to go to Banjul, car problem, you have to stand for more than 1 hour. You do not even have a place to sit.
Definitely. And you know what? I think
the government need to work. We need to work.
I think what you say.
But we all need to.
We need
Let's
to work.
say it's a collective effort.
It's a collective
effort. All of us.
But let the government set the base.
Yes.
We need the base. If the government set the base, of course, real estate will follow suit. Or you are terminated. The contract is or the license is terminated. How could one real estate own or embezzle amount of 25 million, 50 million dollars, and you are walking in the street freely? You go to the traffic sometimes. You can suggest the nature of this country. People are confused. You make your horn beep beep. They don't even look at you because they are confused.
They are, yes. You see a man walking and you are thinking a lot.
You are thinking a lot. You are thinking a lot. Mr. Barry confiscated my money. You are thinking of what to eat.
Yes,
you are thinking of where to, look at right now. You know how many people are calling for rent? They notice me, rent is in the increase. The rental department, what are they doing? They need to make a price control. 2 bedrooms at Serekunda should not surpass this level.
Should cost this. True.
Exactly.
Birikama,
we agree.
Birikama, it should not pass this level. I will make a suggestion because we are on the media right now. Birikama is too big. Kudos, they are working. The mayor is really
and Bibi,
working.
I just want to make something clear. I am not, I do not have any issue with foreigners.
Yes.
I do not have any issue with foreigners. It's important they are here in the country. But at some point, some house agents, if you call them, you will realize these are not Gambians. And they are the ones giving houses. So how will you feel if you call someone who is not a Gambian, giving you a very high amount for a house? Because at some point there's a friend who wanted a house, I think it's a room and parlor, but they charge him a very high price. And we know the guy that charged him is not a Gambian. How possible is that?
But then, just to add on to that.
I have no problem.
Just to add on to that, I think Balde here is talking about the agents.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
Sometimes they're Gambian, sometimes they're not.
They are exorbitant amount.
But let's talk about the agents in general. I'm just trying to connect with what Ibrahima said. Because sometimes it's not just people who are not Gambians. It has to do with people who are Gambians as well. How legal are agents? So you can just answer that together.
Okay, Gambia, we are a capitalist state. It's a free market. It's a free market. That's the beauty of it. But also it has to get some sort of provisions, some limitations. Okay, like I said, if every citizen understand that Kanifing, South, North, up to Bakote, 2-room and parlor should not, no matter how lucrative the house is, 2-room and parlor should not surpass 3,500. Do you think if agent asks you 4,500 you will pay? You will in fact slap him. Are you mad? Which area this house is? It's in Bakote. Don't you see the act? Your law says that Bakote should not pass 3,500. So you know you are free. That's why I said the central government need to come and set the base. You will see, if the house is costing 2,500, I give you the house, despite being a foreigner or not, you can make it 3,500 because I know if I'm to rent, I should not pay more than 3,500. But unfortunately, 2-room and parlor cost $7,000, sometimes $8,000. Because there's no price control, there is no rental, revenue, whatever. Because people are sleeping over these things. And this, you see, the Gambia, there's no mega problem in this country. The small problems result to the bigger problems. Consequentially. This is the fact.
And Bibi, we have a problem. You go to an agent, and the agent will tell you, before you go to the house, for me to show you, you will pay me 300. Okay, if you take me there and you like the house, the agent will tell you, you will deposit at least 30,000.
Yes.
In that 30,000 too, I have my commission as an agent. And what about if a person is receiving 2,500 for salaries, Bibi?
This is where...
How can you pay 30,000, Bibi?
Yes. Like I said, it's a free market, but it needs to be controlled. You know, free market policy is good when, for instance, we have a basic, what we call the socialist ideology or socialist base. For instance, what I mean by the socialism here, it's, for instance, nobody, the government should make sure nobody goes to bed hungrily. No citizen should be sleeping in the street because of the person do not have a shelter. You know, if these basic needs are okay, understand? In Europe, in Soviet Union, that's what they did. They all started with that socialist idea. Okay, coming back to this, how can someone afford 30,000? Because if there is 30,000 houses, let the government also sign contract with some of these big agents. For instance, Mustafa Njai. Understand? Okay, go somewhere around the Birkama, Tujere. Okay, the social security will help you, will fund, the banks will fund through the government. But the government will say, okay, for instance, we have 7,000 civil servants, for instance, the armies. The armies have been paid $7,000, $10,000 every month. Let army pay $2,000. As you rent and own it, there's a system we call rent and own. Gambia, we do not have that. You are renting an apartment for many years. Subsequently, it will be yours because you are paying there and you are renting as well. So you will see that will not force you to go pay deposit $30,000. Because there's another alternative where you can pay $20,000 or $10,000 for a house. But we do not have that alternative here. You know why? Because the development is concentrated one side at a period. I'll give an example. Look at Jabang. 10 years ago, you asked me and you to pay 50,000 to go reside in Jabang. We'll say,
never.
Right? But today, you cannot have 20 by 20 in Jabang less than 500,000.
Well, you know, in fact, that when I got my land, I got it at a very far place. But I said to myself, let me just get it. Because if I get it, I'm thinking of 10 years ago, like 10 years to come. You understand? It will be developing, because I've learned my lessons from Jabang, from Sanyang, you know, so it's important. Things are developing. Land is an everyday thing.
You know why? You know why land, in fact, is very expensive in this country? One of the factors is development. You know, Gambia, we need three things: water, electricity, and road. If Gambians see this in any area, they don't mind to settle there. Because the country is very small. You can live from Gunjur. I'm seeing people are living Gunjur, driving all the way to Banjul to work. Kafuta, driving all the way to Banjul to work. If we have accessibility, light and water, people wouldn't mind to live at Nyomi and come to work. You know what? If you are selling your land at 600,000, that's 20 by 20 in Brusubi, I'm living in Farato, who cares? I have water.
As far as you are comfortable.
As far as I have water and electricity. And also, some of these recreational things, let's say the motels, you know, the
good restaurant.
The restaurants.
Bibi, you did a very nice barbecue over the weekend. I mean, it was a nice one. He invited us to the barbecue. He organized an inter-party barbecue.
How come?
New Year's Eve bi ak
remix ko.
Bibi, we need to do that. How was it in brief?
Yes, it was a successful event. It just come to me. I was thinking, because I live in a mixed community, Understand? This election has been very polarized, actually, because a lot of verbatims, lots of, rhetorics. So, if we are not careful, we as young people, we may be divided in our community level, which is very bad. So, I just look at take an example of myself. When I live in a community whereas I have, my right, you have the Sarahules, the left, the opposite is the Jolas and stuff. But after the election, during the election and after the election, you can see every household is holding back. The communication, the interaction wasn't there.
Okay.
So I realized this is because of the partisans. And this has dissolved down to the community level. And you look at some of, even we, the media personnel, the journalists, some of them, we know one or another. Okay, maybe he's parlaying this, but this is politics. People need to sensitize ourselves about politics. Politics come and go. Understand? I may be supporting A, you're supporting B. It's just a matter of ideas.
Yes.
You believe in A.
Yeah. Thank you so much
for
coming. But due to time constraints,
no, let me just finish this.
Yes.
It's very important about the barbecue. That's why I have to call all the youths from the different political parties. Let them come together. So we sensitize ourselves. We have chit chat. We talk, and we can go and talk to our communities about politics. Politics is just finished.
It's over. Let's move on.
Now, what we need to do
and
is
develop
support.
Our country. Yes.
Support the sitting president.
Exactly.
We excel.
We move. Exactly. Bibi, thank you very much for coming.
Yes.
The producer is telling us that time is up. Time is up.
So
Mariama, we apologize.
But
thank you very much, Bibi.
Yes.
It was a fruitful discussion. We enjoyed it. And it will not be the first time.
Yeah, we will have him.
This will not be the last time.
Yeah.
He will be coming here again.
Yeah, because
Bibi
I think
is my guy. Anytime I call him to be on the show, I believe he feels.
Baadu dafa daw sànni lu moo def yëpp ñëw.
Dafa war a ñëw because maa ngi Bibi du tey.
Do you know his name?
Bul duga foofu. Non, bu leen duga foofu. Bu leen duga foofu.
Mbay kum leen kum.
Waaw, bàyyi leen. Bu leen duga foofu noonu. Bibi, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. So we'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll head right on to Community Watch. Do stay tuned.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
Begin your SUV life. S-Pass Motors, the new authorized dealer for Kia. Visit us today or call us on 3522 222 353 2222.
I am the light goddess. Everything I touch turns into light. I am the light at the end of the tunnel, and my technology is the answer. I am the happiness in your life. I keep you connected, and I am Q-Power. I am QCell. I am Sunibus. We innovate, others follow. Call 111 for more information.
Light. From the beginning of time, light has been there.
It is integral to our survival and to our way of living.
We need light to work,
To build,
to grow things, and even to see our loved ones.
Light makes things easier and better.
So QCell has changed the way you buy Q-Power to make it easier and more accessible.
You can now access the same service quickly and get your Cash Power tokens instantly with the new QCell Q-Power code.
To light up your world, simply dial *363#.
With a touch of your fingers,
with ease and convenience from the comfort of your home or office,
you can bring light into your world instantly with *363#.
Q-Power, lighting your world.
QCell Sunyabus.
We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back from that break. If you're just tuning in and you're watching QTV this morning. And finally, we're joined by Jibril Gando Balde, Senior Communications Officer at the Ministry of Health. He's the usual guest anyway, and we were talking about a rise in COVID-19 cases. But before that, let's just have a follow-up, Ibrahima, on our discussion last week or 2 weeks ago on the mass sensitization program that you conducted. How did it go?
Thank you very much, Jenaba, and our viewers, and my brother, Mr. Balde. The last mass drug administration that we just concluded was a huge success as far as Banjul is concerned. And when it comes to the other region, which is Western Region 1, which is Tanje, Sanyang, Gunjur, the Kombo coastal area, that is where we had little bit challenges. But why I said Banjul was a success is that because in Banjul, we targeted 15,000 people for the mass drug administration. So we targeted to treat 15,000 people, and out of that 15,000, we were able to surpass even the target by treating 17,000 people.
Wow.
So in Banjul, we had 104%, you know, more than the 100% mark. So we are saying a very big thumbs up to the people of Banjul for, you know, coming out in their numbers and then, you know, taking these deworming tablets and helping them get rid of, you know, worms from their children, and, you know, even adults were coming up to take these drugs. So, but the other part of the coastal area, which is Sanyang, Gunjur, Tanje, which is under our Western Region 2, for that one, we only had 39% covered out of the targeted population. So this is why I said on that part we really had some challenges, whether it is the nature of the people going out, you know, because most of those people staying in those areas come into Serakunda, Banjul, you know, during working days, you know, to do their errands. You know, some women also will come to the markets in around Serakunda, Tabokoto, Latrikunda, so even as far as Banjul. So that might have a real impact in getting our actual target as far as those people are concerned. But, you know, in Banjul, hardly people move from Banjul to come to Kombo to work, you know.
But that is the deworming. Let's talk about the COVID-19 street-to-street campaign, because there's a percentage that you were looking out for. Good. Were you able to achieve that?
And if our technicians can show us the figures, I have shared with them the photos. So that would have just tell you exactly in each region how many were reached as far as this vaccines vaccination for the COVID is concerned. And I would like them to give us that in our screen if we can get it. It will really help, because in CRR for
you can have it right there now.
That is it. Excellent. Okay, so in CRR you can see that is the one on top. We had 3,899 people vaccinated, and in URR that follows CRR, that is 3,927 people we have vaccinated from 23rd to the 1st of January. This is a period of 10 days, and you can see the highest that is 17,000 in Western Region 1, 17,440, the second to last. So that is Banjul and Kombo, KMC, that is Western Region 1. And Western Region 2, which is the one below, it is 3,160. And you can see in URR also, there's vaccinated 7,736. So you can see in total, we were able to vaccinate 39,091 people at the bottom right corner there. Yeah. So that is the total number of people that we have vaccinated during this 10 days period. So this is a very huge success, and it have also increased our percentage as I was telling you, because when we were starting, you remember during that program, you asked me how many % of the population was vaccinated. By then, before the 23rd of December, it was only 14% of our population that was vaccinated. And this increase to that have taken us to 18%. So, I told you in that program that we are targeting to get at least 6% on top of the 14 to make it 20%. Yeah. But we are very close. And
so meaning we are not there yet.
Still now we have 1 or 2% left. But the data for other subsequent distance is not added to this. So if that is added, hopefully we will get there to the 20%.
Okay. So now that we know there's a rise in COVID-19 cases, and what I've observed is there's a flu-like malaria, something ongoing. So are people advised to test if they see those symptoms? What is happening? Because recently I saw some people took to social media to say they've tried to voluntarily test, and they are told, no, you can't do that. So I don't know how true that is.
For the testing, it's only travelers who are asked to pay, because they will be provided with their results in paper form or in digital form. But for anybody in the country, you want to know your status, you want to know whether symptoms that you are seeing, like your cold or running nose or coughing, so you want to actually determine whether COVID is related to this. Then you can go to the stadium and tell them that I am feeling sick and I have symptoms, so I just want to know my status. In that, you are not going to be entered as a traveler who is testing. So the purpose of your test will be to know your status because of your symptoms. And in that case, you can get tested at the Independence Stadium or at the Brucery testing site without no pay. But remember, at the end of the day, you cannot also be given a hard copy of your result. What you do in that event is call 1025, and when you call 1025, they will go into the system and look at your result and tell you your result, whether you are positive or you are negative. So in that case, there should be no pay, and we are not charging for that, because we want people to come out so that we can actually know the degree of the infection in our country. So just people who don't understand might think that you need to go to the bank and pay just to know your status. Those are for travelers who will be needing their physical results either in digital form or in hard copy form, and that they will show at the places of entry like airports or land border points.
Mr. Balde, can you tell us, I mean, few months ago, I mean, in 2021, we've seen a whole lot of people were having what we call the vaccine hesitancy. Does it still, I mean, remain the same?
Vaccine hesitancy have drastically reduced, going by what we just saw on that screen. It shows the whole Gambia as a whole, each region. It has shown that people have come out to take their vaccine. So this is a manifestation that now many people are getting out of that, hesitant group and coming out to take the vaccine, because 3,000 people in CRR is not a small number. And this is just within a period of 10 days. And you can see our health workers, they did a great job by going to meet people in the markets, meeting some of these women in their gardens, in the furrows, in the farms, just to make sure that they are given the opportunity, because that was the purpose of the campaign. If you could remember the last time I told you, is to bring the vaccine to the doorsteps of the people, because people, especially in the rural area, if you are to go to your farm, they go very early in the morning, and by the time they come back, some of them, they come very late. So that's why our health officials in those areas, they take it upon themselves to follow these people at the farms, in the markets, wherever they might be gathered. So that's how we come to get this. And you can see this is clear evidence that our people were in the farm following women in their gardens, and just to make sure that you know, the vaccine was available to them. If this woman was not met at the farm, it will be very difficult to get her vaccinated. And not that because she don't want to be vaccinated, but she was not given the opportunity because her survival is more important to her than, you know, getting a COVID-19 vaccine. You understand? Even though COVID-19 vaccine will add to her survival, but the rationale, you know, she will have to choose and say, let me go to my farm. But if you should go to the farm and meet them, they are willing. And this is evident that, you know, people are now not hesitant like they were as you asked. And then to add to that, we are seeing that the rumors that came before the vaccines are dying because they are not true. And why? Because we have stand the test of time, me and you and everybody who is vaccinated. It's a proof that these vaccines are safe. Because the rumors that came earlier was that if you take these vaccines, you will not even live for 3 months, for 6 months. And now they are saying for 2 years. So people have taken the vaccine for 1 complete year now, and they are still fully well and alive. So the rumors are dying, and you can see the commitment our people took, and you can see these young youths, you know, now very much, you know, motivated to be vaccinated because they were met at their ghettos, on their streets, you know, at their bantabas or atayavus.
Well,
and then
looking at this picture,
yes,
I mean, I think this is very good, Jennifer.
You can see
if the youths of this country can champion such a thing, because just look at them, they are standing. This is a
all
very
of them
nice
are vaccinated.
picture.
Only
you know,
the health worker is the one with the box, with cooler.
With their cards.
Yes.
So this is important.
So
I think
this is impressive, and we saying a big thank you to these health officers who take the extra mile to go to the farms, to the markets, meeting women in their market gardens, in their workplaces, and we say a very big thank you to them because without their efforts, you couldn't have get to this 18% that we are talking about. And when we came here at the beginning of the campaign, we said only 14%. So 14% to 18% is not a small margin. That's a huge success. There are many countries in Africa, they are still under 10% vaccinated. And the Gambia now is getting to 20%. And I know by the end of this week, we will get to 20% of our population, targeted population vaccinated.
Yes, so Mr. Balde, any plans to vaccinate children under 18?
Yes, we have plans to vaccinate children under 18, maybe from 12 to 18. But that also have to come with the recommended vaccines for that purpose. And for the recommended vaccines to be here, we also have to make sure that the facility to maintain those vaccines at the required temperatures and the required equipments, the fridges, because those vaccines that will be safe for under 18s have to be kept, most of them under minus 20 degrees. And the buckets that we use, the coolers that we use, they can only keep from minus 2 to minus 8 degrees. So we need containers that will keep the temperature below minus 20, and that will be below the freezing point. So these vaccines, that's how they are kept, and then they should be maintained in that temperature up to the point of delivery, just like we do with the AstraZeneca and the Johnson, those ones from 2 degrees to 8 degrees plus. You don't have to even get to the minus. But to maintain the Pfizer's and the other vaccines that can be given to kids, you have to get the facility that will be able to store these vaccines under minus 20 degrees. And the government is doing all possible through the Ministry of Health to make sure that these facilities, some of them are even have been procured by international agents and partners for the Gambia. And very soon, we will be starting to roll these vaccines out to also increase our targeted vaccinated coverage.
Okay, interesting. It's very important. How effective is the 1025?
The 1025 is well and alive and very active because I am the one supervising that office because it's under communication. So I have a team of 12 so who work on shifts. They rotate from morning, afternoon to night. So we make sure that every person who call, your call is logged in, and then whatever issues you have is being logged in our, each phone is having a computer aside so that it is very easy for you to log in whatever that caller is concerned about. It's a hotline. You have to remember that sometimes 10 people call in at the same time. If you are using an AfriCell and 10 AfriCell callers are calling, it goes to one phone, so you have to wait.
Let's say I'm using QCell, for instance.
QCell also is dedicated to one phone.
Okay.
All the GSMs, we dedicate a number to them. So each passing, it's not like all the calls come in, all the networks come in the same phone. Each network is dedicated to a specific phone. And a specific person is there to make sure that you receive only AfriCell. When you call QCell, maybe Balde is the one receiving QCell. And if Chromium, maybe you are the one receiving Chromium, it is Gamcell, I will be the one receiving Gamcell. So if it needs, you are in an emergency situation, you need the rapid response team, we have all the contacts. We will just contact the rapid response team that we have a suspect or a case somewhere, and then they will prepare to go there. If you need information just to know where can I get my test tomorrow or day after tomorrow I'm traveling, in that case we will just direct you to the testing sites and explain to you the procedure that you have to go to EcoBank, Mayo Payments and do this and that. So they have all the information, even the situational report, for example, like the daily updates. If you want to know and you are lost somehow, you can just call 1025 and they will give you the detailed report, whatever part of the report you wish to know, and they will tell you.
I think people should go and get vaccinated because there's this flu, you know, tiredness or something that is ongoing.
Definitely.
And people are tired. I don't know, fever. Like people are just going through things right now.
The thing is, the fourth wave is here.
Yes, people
the fourth
are
wave is here. If they can show us the waves on the screen, you will see. The first wave came in 2020, around that was in July to September to October. The second wave came in around January, February, March 2021. And here we are in the fourth wave, and the third wave came in around July, August. So you can see the waves, they are very close to each other. The first wave, the second wave, now you can understand when we say wave. You know, this is a typical wave. And now what are you seeing at the tip of the page there? You can see that is the fourth wave coming up. And the fourth wave, you can see the highest of the peak of the fourth wave is even more than the second wave highest number of cases. So this is an indication that the fourth wave is coming very aggressively, meaning that the transmission rate is very high. Even though we are not seeing deaths anywhere near the fourth wave, but the number of people getting infected is high. And this is only an indication of the people who are coming out to get tested. And who are the people coming out to get tested? These are basically travelers, mainly. 90% or 95% of our people that are getting tested are travelers. So I recommend you to come and test and know whether your runny nose is COVID related or not.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So we come your way on Monday. Bye. You're accusing me.
biir kat amul seetu waral na lépp lu fay dugg dafa wara doon li nga xamantene ni lu indil doomu adama bi loraange ci walu wéru gu yaram One Stop Water Solution Limited ñu ngi fi ci biir réew taxaw tem fexé pour gis ne doomu adama bu ne di nga naan ndox mo xamantene ni ndax mu sell te wóor la ndax indil nañ leen ay xéetu filtres yi nga xamantene ni mun ngeen koy jëfandikoo ci seeni pompe yi ci biir réew moo xam booxol ngay jëfandikoo wala pompe nawek yi ne bépp xéetu filtre bi nga xamantene ni dina la indil wéru gu yaram musal la ci loraange amal nañ leen ko ci biir réew am nañ 10-inch filter set of 3 bii nag ñett lay àndal bu ci ne ak li muy liggéey bokk na ci 5 micron pp sediment filter bii nag mooy segg ndox mi ba mu set génne fa lépp li nga xamante ne ni warta ànd ak ndox moomu bala nga koy jëfandikoo gat granule carbon filter bii nag mooy segg génne lépp lu xeetoog chemical ak organique yi nga xamante ne ñoom ñoo nekk ci biir ndox mi sellal ndox mi ba waral mu soppi li nga xamante ne moom la ndox mi di saf mu soppi cafin gi def ko ndox mu sellate óor CTO block carbon filter bii nag du yem rek ci segg ndox mi sellal ko ba mu sell waaye nag daf koy yokk ay ngéneel yi nga xamante ne ni day baax ci wér gu yaramu doomu aadama bi dëgëral waaye tamit yàggal lool sa yuur wi am nañ tamit 12-inch filter set of 3 boobu it liggéey bu nu mel lay def ñetti filter yépp benn bu nekk ak lu muy liggéey am nañ 10-inch post carbon 10-inch coconut carbon 75 GPD PO1 membrane bi amal nañ leen bépp xeetu water tank tàmbalee ko ci 500 litres 5000 ba ci 1000 litres ak plumbing fittings.
kon nag mbokk yi bu ngeen buggee naan ndex yu sell te wóor seeti leen One Stop Water Solution Limited suñu makkaan bu mag baa nga foofa ca Sukuta Highway
Mariama Kunda Johnson.
wala nga call ñu ci 505 5691 796 8272 One Stop Water Solution Limited ndox mu set mooy yàggal dundu ni doomu